Hello, welcome to the channel of M's Update Channel, a channel that collects various stories of the motocross industry to tell and analyze. Before going to watch, please press like, press share, press subscribe. Let's support each other too. And help by super thanks. Send it to me, I would be very grateful, and have encouragement to make the next clip, and apologize in the narration. I can't say, so I have to robot speak for me.
The 2023 Oakland Supercross is up next as the Monster Energy Supercross Series has just made the trek from Anaheim to Houston, Texas, to Tampa, Florida, and now all the way back to Oakland, California this weekend to complete the round, which was originally postponed from January 14th to February 18th due to heavy rain and flooding in Northern California. To make matters even tougher on the riders, team and staff who are traveling to every race, the series will turn back around and head to Arlington, Texas next weekend. The big story will be how Cameron McAdoo and RJ Hampshire are feeling today after both of them had big crashes back at Anaheim that hampered their results. Thanks to some gritty rides, they're both in the championship hunt to some degree but a little ways down. We'll see how it goes today. In the 450SX class, Lee Tomac still leads the championship after his 5th place finish in Tampa last week, but the gap is narrower with Chase Sexton only 2 points back and last week's winner Cooper Webb just 4 points back. Jason Anderson and Ken Roczen are still looking for their first wins of 2023, and Anderson did win in Oakland last year for the first of his 7 wins in 2022. Perhaps we see our 4th different winner tonight. Free practice. As the first set of free practice headed out, it was Pierce Brown laying down the early pace in 250SX with a 109.860. The whoops were becoming a difference maker early, and the rider who had it down the most was Jet Lawrence. Lawrence put down a 107.20 right in the middle of the session, which proved to be 1.5 seconds faster than anyone throughout the rest of the session. Chase Sexton and Lee Tomac led the field around in 450SX free practice next, as both riders had done some press day riding yesterday and know most of the track. It was Sexton with the early pace at a 108.406. Chase Sexton and Lee Tomac led the field around in 450SX free practice next, as both riders had done some press day riding yesterday and know most of the track. It was Sexton with the early pace at a 108.406. It was Jason Anderson who would put a lap down right at the end to go fastest at a 108.360. Combined session. Qualifying sessions saw the track cleaned up a lot as there were no C groups today, which gave the track crew a ton of time to make sure the track was cleaned up well. Even so, the whoops turned into jumpers right away for many of the 250SX class, with only a handful of guys still blitzing the first set on their hot laps. Styles Robertson went down pretty hard in the whoops with a few minutes left to go in the second qualifying session for the 250SX class. He would not rejoin the track from there, though it appears he's okay. Meanwhile, Jet Lawrence set the tone early in the session with a 106.470, and that time would not be matched the rest of the way. Max Voland also went down into a second set of whoops on the last lap, but he remounted and would be okay as well. The final 450SX qualifying session of the day was peculiar because normally everyone has the track figured out, but there were several different lines being used in both rhythm sections. Chase Sexton, for example, was going 3 on off 2 step on step off single in the rhythm before the finish on his fast laps, which not many other riders were doing. It was working though, as Sexton was right on 106 flat for several laps in a row before dipping down to a 105.771 with the session wrapping up. Jason Anderson and Lee Tomac were behind him in times, but Sexton was about a half second better than anyone for the second straight sessions. So it's Sexton P1 in qualifying heading into the night show.